On 1st August 2015, Kuching was proclaimed as the City of Unity. Kuching was chosen because its multi-ethnic and multi-religious society live in peace and harmony. Among the many ethnic groups, one of the smallest groups is the Indian Muslims. Despite their small number, they are able to make their presence felt. And one of their most impressive contribution to Kuching is the Masjid India Bandar Kuching.
The population, the real Indians are not those who are coming in. The real Indians, I think there will be about 30 to 40 households. Not many. Okay, maybe over 100 to 200 people.
Right in the city center, there is a road named India Street. And as the name of the road implies, quite a few Indian shops can be found there. India Street runs parallel to another important street known as Gambia Street. In between these two streets lies 24 shops operated mainly by the Indian Muslim. Those located along India Street are mainly selling textiles. While those located along Gambia Street mainly sell foodstuff like spices. The shops along both streets are connected by a narrow lane called the Indian Mosque Lane. Today, this area is a favorite place to visit for both tourists and locals. So how did this business center of the Indian Muslim came about? There is evidence that there were Indians in Sarawak since ancient time, where artifacts were excavated in Santubong. In more recent time, stretching back to about 200 years ago, the Indians who came to Kuching were Muslim traders. Many came from South India, from states like Tamil Nadu and Kerala.
These Indians, those who came as businessmen, are mostly in Muslim faith, Islamic faith. Okay? And the beauty of these people is wherever they go, they not only to do the business, okay, they also bring their faith with them, okay, because they have a strong faith, you know.
They started building their business in downtown Kuching while staying in an area within walking distance from their shops. In time to come, the road where they were staying was known as Nagore Street. Nagore is a place in India where some of these Indian Muslims came from. As staunch Muslims, they needed a place of worship. So, in 1834, there was a hut built on a piece of vacant land for this purpose, near their place of business. In 1856, they managed to raise funds among themselves, and also, receiving donations from the local people, they managed to upgrade the hut into a surau. Then in 1871, the community bought the land from the Brooke government for 60 Sarawak dollars. They then formed the Kuching City Mosque Welfare Trust Board. This trust board owns the 24 shops there and leases out to the community to run their business. The trust board also upgraded the surau into a mosque. The mosque was built and renovated based on the needs and situation of that time. And that was the reason why in the end, it is located tucked in between shops hidden from the main streets. For the uninitiated, they would not have expected to see a mosque there, and this adds to the uniqueness of this mosque. As time went by, the mosque not only served the Indian Muslim but also the local Muslim community. At that time, there were only 2 mosques in the vicinity, the other being the old state mosque. This causes overcrowding during prayer time. However, as more mosques and suraus were built in the nearby villages, it eased the situation, although it was still crowded, especially during Friday prayers. So, the Indian Muslim had played an important role not only in trade and religious matters. Some were also leaders among the people of Kuching, but somehow the community felt that something is still missing.
But Indians do not have an icon for themselves. Okay. We don't have idols. So even though we can say the Indians have been here, but what is there to show that you have something to show? You know? So like Chinese, we have a Pekong, very open, everybody can see. And then the Malays, they've got all the Malay houses, everything to show. But Indians, what is there to show? Okay, of course, shop lords everywhere there. We need something to show that this is the property of the Indians. We don't have. So over 30 years, over 30, 40, I mean during my father's time, they planned to demolish this old mosque, and put up a new mosque. Okay, but at the same time, there was a lot of objections, not only to us, but went up to the government, went even up to the federal government, TYT, everybody. So that project was delayed. Okay, then all of a sudden, in 2014, around 2013, 2014, suddenly, when the Sarawak town planning, okay, that time was headed by the then Chief Minister, the present TYT. And suddenly they came out with the idea, why don't we build the mosque at the riverfront?
And the rest is history. The trust board managed to raise 13 million ringgit, while the state government, under the present Chief Minister, topped up with another 8 million for the project. And so, on 1st of March 2019, the new mosque was officially opened. This mosque is also popularly known as the Floating Mosque, and it is the first floating mosque in the state. I had an opportunity to visit the mosque and was most impressed by it. Every part of the mosque looked so grand and impressive. This mosque can accommodate 1,600 worshippers. It complements the other attractions in the area like the Darul Hana Bridge, the musical fountain, the State Legislative Assembly complex, and the villages along Sarawak River. At the same time, the old mosque has been declared a heritage building, and the Trust Board has plans for it, both for religious purposes and also as a tourist attraction. So finally, the wish of the Indian Muslim community have become a reality. Not only do they have an icon to represent them, the mosque is also one of the most beautiful landmarks in Kuching. Thank you for watching this video.